Hi, everybody. Welcome again to Ivy English. I'm Bruce.
I'm Angela.
And I'm Wesley.
It's time for our monthly vocabulary lesson. We have 10 sentences here, and they're missing a word or phrase, each one. For example, here's the first one. Tim bade farewell to his friends and gathered his belongings, preparing to blank for a new adventure. We have 4 choices, as we usually do. The first is flee. The second, depart. The third, guarantee. Or the last, transport.
Can I vote for flee being the funniest one?
Okay, if you bid for farewell to people, to your friends, bade, I think it is. It's not commonly used verb in English, but to bid farewell would mean to make it something more formal. Instead of just saying bye, you bid others farewell. It's a higher class action, I guess I would call it. So Tim did this to his friends and gathered his belongings. He put together what belonged to him. Why? Preparing to. Tim was preparing to blank for a new adventure. He wanted to do something exciting and interesting. So did he flee, depart, guarantee, or transport for a new adventure? No, it isn't flee. She was right. But it is depart, which simply means to leave. And if you bid someone farewell, you're leaving. You cannot guarantee a new adventure. If it's a real adventure, you don't know what's going to happen. Transport means to move something, not yourself. And he's leaving. He's not moving house or anything like that. So choose B, depart. Tim bade farewell to his friends and gathered his belongings, preparing to depart for a new adventure.
好，所以这个地方各位注意 bid farewell to 就是跟谁告别的意思。bid 就是 utter, U-T-T-E-R 的意思。其实用 utter 来解释它，也告诉各位 bid 这个字其实现在不太常用， utter 其实就是说的意思。所以 bid farewell to, bid 这个字现在不常用了，但是在这个片语里面呢，常常偶尔会看到，它是很正式的一种说法，就向谁告别。所以 Tim 跟他的朋友们告别，然后呢 gathered his belongings, 收拾他的个人物品。这个 belongings 可以加 s 的，就是个人的物品，就是 possessions, personal items that one owns. Possessions 就是 P-O-S-S-E-S-S-I-O-N 加个 s。所以他跟朋友们说再见，收拾他个人物品，然后呢分词修饰他。他这个为什么这样做呢？因为他是 preparing to, 他准备要，那我们要选 B, depart. Depart 就是 go away 的意思，要离开 leave 的意思。For 是表示他的目的，所以他是要离开，目的是要去追寻一个 new adventure, 一个新的冒险，所以我们答案选 B。 那 A, flee 这个字呢是逃离的意思，通常是指逃离危险或者麻烦， to run away from trouble or danger， 所以不对。 C, guarantee 是保证， D, transport 是运输，都不对，我们选 B, depart。
Number 2, even though the man is already 30, he lacks blank and is unable to handle difficult situations on his own. So he's unable to take care of life's ordinary problems. So what does he lack? All of these choices, I just want to point out, all of these choices are really sort of great, polite ways of saying a harsh truth. So if you say somebody lacks maturity, A, it means that they're childish. If somebody lacks prosperity, B, that means they're poor. If somebody lacks humanity, C, that means you're a terrible person. You're a And D, sincerity. If you lack sincerity, you're a liar. So what is our dude? Is he a liar, a terrible person, poor, or childish? And since we're talking about his age and he's unable to handle difficult situations, let's say A. Even though the man is already 30, he lacks maturity and is unable to handle difficult situations on his own.
好，所以题目说，虽然这个男子呢已经30岁了，但他缺乏 lacks， 缺乏什么呢？我们要选 A, maturity 成熟，他缺乏成熟，也就是他有一点还不够成熟。为什么呢？我们看后面的句子就知道了。他怎么样呢？ is unable to， 他没有办法怎么样处理 handle difficult situations on his own。 on his own 就是他独自，他没有办法独自处理 这个比较困难的一些状况，所以他不够成熟，虽然已经30岁了，还没有长大的感觉，所以 A 选这个 maturity。 那 B 选项 prosperity 是繁荣或者昌盛，这个显然跟他能不能处理艰困的问题没有什么关系。那 C humanity 是人或者人类，那更谈不上这有什么关系的。那 sincerity 是诚恳，这个一个人诚不诚恳跟他几岁其实没有关系，所以这个地方跟我们的上下文也没有关系，所以我们要选的是 maturity， 他不够成熟。
Number 3, Kelly tried to blank Beth with soothing words and a warm hug after her cat got hit by a car and passed away on the spot. So we learned that Beth had a cat, but it was hit by a car and died. Well, people love their pets, so what would we expect Kelly to do? Kelly tried to blank Beth.How? With soothing words. Oh, this is really sad and terrible, but remember the good times you had together and so on.
He didn't suffer. It was instantaneous.
Soothing words. They make you feel better. And a warm hug, Peanuts style, where everyone hugs each other now and then. But Kelly tried to blank Beth. If you hug or say soothing words, what do? Do you A, tease someone? B, signal someone, C, persuade someone, or D, comfort someone? Of course, the answer is D. To comfort someone is to make them feel more comfortable, to feel easy, not to feel so sad.
好，我们看到这个题目，好，他说呢 Kelly 怎么样试着要我们选 D, comfort 就是安慰的意思，他试着要安慰 Beth， 怎么样安慰他呢？ With 就是用或者以什么东西来安慰呢？以 soothing words， soothing 就是安慰的使人平静的这些 words 话语，还有用一个 a warm hug 一个温暖的拥抱。那他是什么时候做这件事情呢？是在这个 Beth 他的猫 got hit 就是被撞到 by a car 被一辆车撞到，然后呢 passed away 死去， on the spot 就是当场，所以被车撞当场死去了，那当然很难过，所以这 Kelly 就试着要安慰 Beth， 所以我们要选 D comfort 安慰。那 A 选项 tease 是逗弄的意思，那这个人家猫死掉你还逗弄它，这个太不人道了哈，所以这个不是 A 不对。B signal 是打信号，打个信号给他，这个也讲不通。C persuade 是说服啊，没什么好说服的，所以 A、B、C 都不对，我们选 D comfort。
Number 4, Larry was blank of the call from a stranger who told him there was a problem with his bank account. So he hung up on him immediately. He hung up on the stranger. It means he was like, yep, not talking to you. So what was he feeling about this call from a stranger? Was he tolerant of it? Like, yeah, that's okay, he can call me. Was he ignorant of it? Like, oh, did that happen? Was he suspicious of it? Like, that can't be true. I think that's our answer. And D, was he ambitious of? You can't be ambitious of something, so let's just cross out D. So choose C. Larry was suspicious of the call from a stranger who told him there was a problem with his bank account. So he hung up on him immediately, as you should do. Don't even be polite. Just be like, yeah, bye.
好，所以 Larry 怎么样呢？然后后面是 the call from a stranger， 一个陌生人打来的电话。那这个陌生人 who 就是指这个陌生人 told him 告诉他 there was a problem with 就是什么什么有问题，什么有问题呢？ His bank account 就是他陌生人说 Larry 的银行账户有问题啊，那这个显然就是诈骗电话。所以呢，他就 hung up on him。这个 to hang up on someone 就是挂某人的电话。那就是不跟他讲的，马上挂电话，叫做 hung up on him immediately， 立刻就挂电话了。那我们看看这个应该选哪一个呢？ A tolerant 是容忍，所以陌生人打这样一个电话，那可是问题是他最后是 hung up on him， 所以不是他根本没有容忍他，所以 A 不对。B ignorant 无知的，他对于这个电话是无知的，这个英文都讲不通，所以不对。那 C suspicious 这个是正确答案，就是怀疑。好 ，to be suspicious of 就是对什么感到怀疑啊，他觉得这个电话很可疑哦。所以 C 是最好的答案。那 D ambitious 是有野心的，那这个字通常后面不会加 of， 所以这一题我们选 suspicious。
Number 5. Much to their delight, most of the blank that the company had received from the customers about the new product was positive. Well, if something is positive, you are likely to feel delight, which is happiness, a good happiness, great happiness. And the situation is that a company has a new product and they asked people what they thought about it. So most of the blank that the company had received, would it be A, refusal, B, campaign, C, feedback, or D, dilemma? Well, it wouldn't be refusal because the company is happy about the information they got from the public. B, campaign. Most of the campaign that the company had received, it's the other way around. The campaign was made by the company for its customers to find out what they really thought about it. And there we are. C, feedback is what we call the response of customers to a campaign that is put together by a company when they have a new product or service. And so we don't even need to go to D, but let's look at it anyway, because dilemma means problem. And most of the problem that the company had received, why would they feel delight? That doesn't make any sense. Definitely choose C. Much to their delight, most of the feedback that the company had received from the customers about the new product was positive.
好 much to their delight 就是让他们很高兴的是大多数的什么东西 that the company had received 这个公司收到的什么东西，那这个收到是从哪里收到呢？ From the customers 从顾客那里收到的这个东西大多数都是怎么样？我们要等一下就选这个字，那主要是这个他们所收到的这个东西是关于什么呢？关于 the new product 这个新的产品，所以公司从顾客那边收到的关于他们新产品的这个东西大多数都是 positive 都是正面的。那我们要选什么呢？ A, refusal 是拒绝，英文 refusal 很少前面讲说 receive refusal sounds weird, right? 好，所以这个很怪那意思也不对，因为 refusal 是拒绝。那 campaign 是一个有目标的活动，像选举啊或者是宣传活动，那你也不会去 receive 一个 campaign， 所以 B 也不对。那 C feedback 这个就对了，这个是回馈，所以从顾客那边收到关于这个新产品的回馈大多数是正向的，所以正确答案是 C feedback。 那 D dilemma 是两难的状况，它通常也不会跟 receive 放在一起，所以我们选 C feedback。
Number 6. After a series of failed attempts, the team finally decided to blank their project and go after a new path. Oh, the first word that came to my mind was spike. If you spike something, you put it in the garbage. So I imagine that that's probably something like the answer. What are our choices? A, abandon. Yep. They decided to spike their project. They decided to abandon their project. We've got B, invade, and C, pioneer, and D, forecast. But these are all like, well, invade is what Russia did to Ukraine. Pioneer is
Be the first to do something.
I know. I was trying to think of Ada Lovelace. She pioneered Wi-Fi before Wi-Fi existed. She's the one who came up with the code that allowed us to do Wi-Fi. Isn't that amazing? And then forecast is to predict. So choose A. After a series of failed attempts, the team finally decided to abandon their project and go after a new path.
好，在一连串的失败之后 after a series of failed attempts 中文通常就讲成在一连串的失败之后，就失败的尝试之后，那这个队伍这个团队呢终于决定要干嘛呢？他们的这个 project 这个专案，然后呢要 go after 要去追寻 a new path 一条新的道路，所以显然他们是放弃了这个专案。好，我们看到 A 选项正好就是我们要的答案， abandon 就是放弃，所以正确答案 B, invade 是侵略， pioneer 是作为先锋，Forecast 是预测预言，都不对，我们选 A 放弃。
Number 7. Due to his weak immune system, Mike is blank to colds and has to wear a mask at all times. Your immune system is your health, the way that your body handles germs that come into it. If you have a weak immune system, you more easily feel sick and get sick. So Mike is blank to colds. Cold is something that will attack your immune system. That happens to almost everybody every year. So he has to wear a mask at all times, not only when he has a cold, but in order to prevent another cold from attacking his system. So he is A, eligible, B, accessible, C, vulnerable, or D, sustainable. The only one that makes sense is C, vulnerable, means that you are likely to get hurt from something or be put into a position that is harmful to you. Mike is vulnerable to colds. He easily catches cold. Choose C.
好，我们看到这个题目，他说 due to 是因为他的 weak 很衰弱的 immune system 就是免疫系统啊，因为他的免疫系统不强很弱，所以他怎么样呢？我们要选 C vulnerable is vulnerable to 就是很容易受什么什么的侵害或者是伤害，所以他的免疫系统比较弱，所以他很容易感冒的意思。那 has to wear 因此他必须要戴着 a mask 口罩 at all times 就是随时 constantly 或者是 continuously。好，我们看其他选项 A eligible 是具备这个条件的有资格的，那在这里你说你已经具备条件可以感冒了，这个很奇怪，没有这种说法啊。那 B accessible 是可以取得的可以到达的，这个放在这个句子也不对。 D sustainable 是可以维持的或者具有永久性的放在这里意思也不对，所以我们都不能选，我们选 vulnerable be vulnerable to 是一个很重要的一个片语，容易受什么什么的侵害或者是伤害。
Number 8.The CEO is a role model to many young people because he remains humble and maintains a blank lifestyle despite his considerable success. If somebody is a role model, it means everyone looks up to him for whatever reason, or her for whatever reason. In this case, it's a guy. And he's a role model because he remains humble. That means he's not like, yeah, I'm so great, y'all gotta look at me. No, he's like, yeah, I did some things, but, it was a lot of hard work. That sort of thing. But he also maintains a something lifestyle. What kind of lifestyle? A timid lifestyle where he doesn't do anything very brave? A keen lifestyle? He's sort of intense about his lifestyle? A lousy lifestyle? I don't know. Lousy means bad. I don't think people would role model him if he had a lousy lifestyle. Or modest lifestyle. Modest is kind of another way to say humble. So dude is humble and modest, and he's got a limited lifestyle, even though he's very successful. So choose D. The CEO is a role model to many young people because he remains humble and maintains a modest lifestyle despite his considerable success.
所以这一位执行长呢 is a role model， 他是一个楷模。To 就是对谁来讲是楷模呢？对 many young people， 很多年轻人来讲他是楷模。为什么呢？因为 he remains 他一直很 humble 很谦卑，而且呢 maintains a 什么样的 lifestyle， 那很谦卑，那他的生活模式或者他的生活方式是怎么样呢？我们看看 A timid 是胆怯的 shy and nervous， 那这跟他前面 humble 没有关系。 B keen 是很热衷的很热心的，那这个地方跟前面 humble 也没有关系，所以也不对。那 C lousy 是 very bad 很糟糕的，那他既然是 role model， 他的 lifestyle 应该不会是很糟糕的，所以 C 也不对。D modest 这个就对了，因为所谓的 a modest lifestyle 就是很适中的，不会过度的，不夸张的，所以跟 humble 很像，所以这应该是我们的正确答案。后面这个句子最后还有讲说 despite his considerable success， 尽管他有相当大的成功，他还是一直很谦卑，然后维持了一个不会过度的相当低调的一个生活，所以这一题我们要选的是 D modest。
Number 9. Linda couldn't help but give in to the blank to eat a second piece of cake in spite of being on a diet. Okay, Linda, give in to what? A, possession. B, confession. C, hesitation. Or D, temptation. Well, I read the first half of this sentence. Linda couldn't help but give in to the blank to eat, and immediately I felt, well, temptation is the word because of collocation that we would put here. I don't care what the other three are. If you are on a diet and you're not supposed to eat sweet things with lots of calories and grease or butter and so on, if you give in, this means 放弃嘛.
Yeah, 屈服. Here is more like 屈服. Yeah.
Okay. Couldn't help but give in to the temptation. If something tempts you, it's, hey, come on, come here, try this. And if even though you're on a diet and you're not supposed to eat whatever you like, then a second piece of cake should be forbidden to you, but she couldn't help herself. That's why we use D, temptation. There's no possession to eat a second piece or confession to eat or give in to the hesitation to eat a second piece of cake isn't as good. It's possible, but This is a collocation, really, to give into the temptation to do something when you're not supposed to.
好，所以这个题目说 Linda 她 couldn't help but 这就是忍不住的意思。那 couldn't help but 后面接的是原形动词，所以她忍不住怎么样呢 give into 那这个地方呢其实像这个 Bruce 老师讲，这个是一个 collocation， 就是一个 chunk 一个语块 give into the temptation 或者 give into 某一个 temptation， 就是屈服于某一个诱惑的意思。所以你如果知道这 collocation 的话，这一题你马上就知道答案应该就是 D temptation， 你就直接去找答案。你如果对 collocation 很熟的话，像在考试的时候常常就会有这种感觉，就是你已经知道答案是什么，你去找那就很快，因为你已经知道答案是什么，而不是说 A、B、C 一个一个的考虑，最后考虑到 C 还考虑到 D 才知道啊这个答案是对的，那样就太慢了。好，所以语快跟 collocation 很重要。那在这里我们就选 temptation， 它屈服于这个诱惑，这诱惑是要去干嘛呢？就是要去吃第二块蛋糕 a second piece of cake。 那 in spite of 就是尽管，它尽管怎么样呢？Being on a diet， 尽管他正在节食，但是他实在是忍不住，就屈服了在这个诱惑之下，就去吃了第二块蛋糕的意思。好，那我们看看这其他选项。A. Possession 是拥有的意思。B. Confession 是告白或者是承认。C. Hesitation 是犹豫。那这三个字放在这里都不对。那但是各位在做这种题目的时候，你也要注意，你不要光知道正确答案是什么，你还要知道这错误的答案这些字是什么意思，因为这些字在这里是错的，可是下一次出现可能就是正确答案啊，所以这样子学才会比较有效率。不过这一题不管怎么说，就是 give in to the temptation to do something， 就是屈服于做什么事情的诱惑，或者屈服于诱惑他去做了什么事情。
Number 10. Making her debut when she was only 8 years old, the singer is blank, one of the most talented performers of her generation. So what is this singer? How do we describe her? Oh, we're describing her as blank one. Like, what kind of one? She's unfavorably one. Nobody likes her. She's undoubtedly one. Nobody has any doubts about her. Nobody suspects that she's wrong. That's probably our answer. Unexpectedly one. Like, oh, we didn't think so, but turns out she is one. Or unconsciously one. She herself doesn't know it, but she is one. Well, you know, the last three sort of could work, but which one works best? We're talking about that she started when she's 8 and it seemed like a really sure deal, so I think B undoubtedly is still our best answer. So choose B. Making her debut when she was only 8 years old, the singer is undoubtedly one of the most talented performers of her generation.
好，所以这个句子开头是一个分词构句。那 making her debut 就是首次亮相，当她只有8岁的时候，她就首次亮相了，这个算是一个复数的状况。那这一位歌者呢 singer 他怎么样？他是我们当然选 B undoubtedly 8岁就登台了。那现在不知道几岁，总之他非常厉害，一定是非常厉害才会8岁就登台了。所以我们选 undoubtedly 毫无疑问地，他是他的那一代 her generation 那一代里面的 one of the most talented performers 最有才华的表演者之一。好，所以这一题我们选 undoubtedly。那 A 选项 unfavorably 是不利的、负面的。如果是8岁就登台的话，他作为 performer 应该是很成功，所以 A 不对。那 unexpectedly 8岁就登台了，所以也不是说出乎你的意料哈，他显然是很棒，所以 C 也不对。那 D unconsciously 是不知不觉的，就算再有才华的人，他也不太可能不知不觉的就唱得很厉害哈，他一定要去练习的，一定要去学的，所以 D 也不对，我们选 B undoubtedly 毫无疑问的。
All right, that's it for today's lesson. We hope you enjoyed it and learned something from it as well. That's why we're here. Until the next time, bye-bye.